If you're the sort of person who likes to watch paint dry, your favorite sport is filing tax forms, and if I look at your wardrobe, the three colors there that I see would be black, dark gray, and slate, then this watch is definitely not for you. I cannot recommend this because this is going to challenge everything that you love. And yet, even if you get this, you might actually not regret it. This video is brought to you by Zelos Watches. As a watch enthusiast slash designer slash pirate, I know the balance between work, play, and piracy is a fine plank to tread. I started with my extreme preference for all sorts black, and now I have sunk my filthy feet on other, more exotic designs. From eye-gouging vibrant reds to feathery light carbon mixtures, I have learned to expand my acceptance. This, for the large part, is because of the constant drops of Zelos through the years. I mean, you could do far worse than choosing a Zelos, like choosing a cat for a pet, for example. Yet, choosing a Zelos is not just an afterthought. Today, it's an event that hundreds are eagerly waiting with their hands fistful of Benjamins. It's got the clicks, it's got the striking color palette, and diverse proportions to keep you hooked. Through the years also, they added some great features like this great quick adjust clasp, a feature welcomed by couples who'd love to share the same piece. If that's not enough for you, then the quick release spring bars will make it more fun to play with. Zelos is also constantly tweaking their packaging. They started off with really bulky wooden boxes and now use this practical travel roll that has more slots that foretell the growth of your collection. Your collection of watches or straps. Our ever-growing and changing strap collection is of course thanks to Artem straps. This cloth strap has that muted color to work against that lively orange. These straps are also waterproof, a great companion to the Swordfish water resistance. Artem also makes fine premium NATO straps. This has that great pinstripe that would have matched this Zelos. At least in theory until I saw it's a different hue of orange. This is one of the challenges, really. This orange is quite an unusual tone that it's hard to find a good match. The same applies to this FKM rubber strap that I pirated from Christopher Ward. It's a great soft strap, but it made the whole watch look like a swatch on steroids. That may fly or swim with some, but I'm sure the rest of you don't have such eccentric tastes. The best way to mix this up is with a toned down color like this cream leather. This also works the other way of the brightness scale. The dial is just so overwhelming that it outshines the straps easily. The bracelet is your best bet on this one, like with most swordfishes. Put it down on the table and it will grab your attention. It's obvious this orange watch will stand out against the crowd in your collection. The lume is a complete different league versus other watches in the market and even against those that are still yet to be announced. If there was ever a watch that represents Ember to its truest sense, it would be this one. Let's now wipe the table clean and examine the Zelos Swordfish a little closer. We've seen the signature Swordfish design before with its angular lugs and straight cut bracelet. These narrow links are very comfortable with plenty of room for articulation. It's a good mix of angles and curves, such as the crown over these angular guards. The carved clasp that completes the bracelet also reflects this kind of design language. It's not too jarring, as I imagine that if all of these curves were angular, the watch would lose its finesse. Actually, that's how the Swordfish started out. It had a lot more corners and edges that were gradually refined through its generations. After over-examining the case and band, the dial gets its turn as with all Zelos watches inevitably get. The texture on these black-coated hands are welcome treats to those who could look beyond the striking aesthetics. It's a lot more pronounced over this ridiculously bright dial. There was a time when these were executed with polished treatments. But through careful consideration of the community, Zelos has managed to deliver well-rounded products that captivates its audience. Captivate them well enough to anticipate the next releases. This may seem extraordinary to your typical watch enthusiast, because really, this watch aesthetic is as far from your conventional watch as many can imagine. Through consistency and persistence, Zelos carved out its niche on our horological consciousness. Priced at $299 for its initial launch value, it's another aspect of the brand that proved to be a challenge to beat by its competitors and our conventional judgment. I need to acknowledge that my watch tastes and preferences have changed. I can sit here and tell you about my voyages in the high seas that contributed to this taste change. But I think the more believable narrative is that Zelos watches gradually made me a colorful watch fan. Something that I love too much now to regret. And that is the Swordfish 40 from Zelos. They're also releasing a 42mm version of this Swordfish. And this is another winner for Zelos. It's a stunning release. It might be too stunning for some people to the point that they're going to flinch and say, well, this is too attention grabbing for me. And we can't blame them. We can't blame them because that really is the purpose of this watch. It hits you hard with that orange amber color during the day, and at night that fiery yellow full lume configuration is just amazing to see. At under $300, it's really hard to beat. Again, that's the Zelos Swordfish 40, and it's another attention grabber, and you will not regret getting this one because of the value that it's offering and the quality build that you're getting from this Swordfish.